Should I give up on my dreams of becoming a Green Beret if I have HIV undetected? If 18 Bravos do all the shooting, what do the other team guys do on deployments? How do I resist temptations to eat sweets? It's called discipline. All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Ask a Green Beret, right? It's Wednesday. It's about that time. So I'm going to jump on Instagram and answer all of your questions, all right? There are approximately 100 questions from Instagram that you guys are looking for answers to, last I check, all right? I'm going to go through and answer them. That might not be as detailed as you would like. If that's the case, make sure you jump on greenberetchronicles.com, book a mentorship call with me, and you and I could talk in length about whatever the issue is, all right? Because I don't have a lot of time to spend on here answering in detail these questions, right? I'm trying to keep the video to a certain length, all right? Before we jump into that, guys, we're going to cover the hero of the week. Guys, today's hero of the week is going to be my 6-year-old son. And this is the reason why, right? So approximately 4 months ago, he was in a jiu-jitsu tournament, right? He got second place and then he got third place. The first place loss really destroyed his confidence, right? It was one of those things where he was looking forward to winning because he wanted to win a sword, and then he lost. So his confidence was completely shot throughout those 4 months. He kept telling me that he didn't want to compete ever again, right? So I gave him his space. Then we went back and talked to him and encouraged him. And about a week ago, he went back to his first tournament and actually competed, right? Not letting that initial defeat keep him down. So he was able to overcome that and compete anyways. Why is that important? It's important, and I wanted to shed some light on his ability to overcome this because he's 6 and he's doing it, right? You don't have an excuse. You're going to fail at life, but that failure should not keep you down, right? So go through your failures, come out on the other end more resilient, right? So if you're looking for someone to emulate my 6-year-old son who was handed his first defeat, took some time, overcame it, and got right back out on that mat and competed. This is what life is about, guys. It's overcoming those challenges. With all that said, guys, let's jump right into these questions. I want to go to selection, but I just want to know how to have a good why. All right, so why do you want to go to selection? Right? Why do you want to become a Special Forces operator? That why has to be strong, and it has to be sufficient enough to where when you're going through the grind that is selection, it's going to propel you past you wanting to quit. My why is going to be different than your why, right? My why was, hey, 9/11, along with wanting to be the best that I can be as far as a soldier in the military. I wanted to push myself. I wanted to be the best of the best. So guess what? When I was at selection, going through the shit show, my why of wanting revenge for 9/11 and wanting to be the best, that kept me going, right? That might not work for you. It's up to you to dig deep and figure out what your why is, all right? Let's check out the next question, guys. All right, is it possible to be an SF guy and a family man? Yes, it is, all right? Everything that has to do with your family is your choice. How you nurture that relationship, how you interact with your family, that'll dictate whether or not your family and your relationship survive. SF has nothing to do with it, right? There's people out here right now that are working, long days, that are traveling, that are doing all sorts of stuff, and their family's fine. Do not use Special Forces as an excuse for your family falling apart, all right? Next question, guys. Would you be a cop nowadays? Society has found a really good way of making cops the bad guys nowadays, right? A cop can't safely do his job without worrying about being posted on social media or without worrying about blowback of what might come from him doing the right or wrong thing, right? Those guys are essentially operating with their hands cuffed behind their back. So no, I don't want any part of that at all. All right, should I go 18 X-ray or should I go 11 Bravo and drop my package? I was in the Marine Corps. It all depends. If the intent is to be special forces, then don't deviate from that route. Just go straight 18 X-ray and go straight to special forces, right? You go in as an 11 Bravo, you don't really control what's going to happen to you. You might get to your unit and you have a commander that's not SF friendly. You might get a sergeant major that hates SF. There's a lot of unknowns there. As opposed to you put in an 18 X-ray packet, you're going straight to selection, the Q course, and eventually one of the groups, right? So if I were you, 18 X-ray for sure. All right, next question. My unit is doing gunnery beginning of April. I want to go to selection in April, or should I go in May? It's your call to make, right? April's still going to be a little cold. May is not going to be too cold, nor will it be too warm. If I were you, I would go in May. That's just my personal choice. All right, next question. Might be a dumb question, but how do I resist temptations to eat sweets? It's called discipline. All right, that's how you resist. Next question. Going 18 X-ray from civilian. What should be the main focus? Main focus should be making sure you are physically fit, and then making sure your leadership skills are on par based on how old you are, right? So yeah, that's what I would recommend that you work on. All right, next question, guys. 32-year-old in great shape but needs something to help with the wear and tear. 11 Bravo. Bro, go see your PA, all right? See what he can do. See what he can recommend, all right? There's a lot of different programs out here within the military geared towards helping you manage those wears and tears so you can still operate at the highest level, right? So I would recommend, for example, if you're here on Fort Bragg, they have the TBI clinic that you can go to, right? I'm sure some of these Army installation also has the same program. So yeah, I would encourage you to go see your PA and see what medical programs he can get you into to help you with all those issues. All right. Next question, guys. TSSCI with a history of substance abuse, trafficking prior to wartime civilian. It all depends, man. Like, the military is hurting for personnel so bad right now. Regardless of the situation that you find yourself, I would highly recommend taking your shot and seeing what happens, right? If it's meant to be, it's going to be, but you'll never know until you take that shot, right? Next question, guys. What are your favorite hobbies at home now that you're pretty much retired? Favorite hobby is going to have to be the gym, man. That's something that I do religiously. And then just hanging out with my kids, man. Going to jiu-jitsu, going to dance recitals. Like, that's my life nowadays, right? All right. Next question. Marines that go to SFAS. Not sure what the question is there, but yes, there are a bunch of Marines that do end up going to selection, and those guys are fairly successful. All right. All right. Next question, guys. What are the best ways to mitigate injuries, risk doing SFAS and the Q course? So what I was a big fan of while I was going through selection and also the qualification course is prepping my feet prior to all the physical events that I did, right? What does that look like? So I'm a big fan of using moleskin. Moleskin, if you're not familiar with what that is, it's pretty much skins that goes on top of your skin. So whenever you wear your boots and it's rubbing against the material that the boots is made out of, it's not going to give you any blisters, right? It's going to rub on the moleskin instead of your actual skin. And then I also like to use ace wrap. So I would wrap my ankles, and then I would also wrap my knees whenever I'm going on those long range movements, right? That's what I did, and it worked pretty good for me. So yeah, I would say prep your feet prior to going out for any events doing selection in the Q course. All right, next question, guys. If 18 Bravos do all the shooting, what do the other team guys do on deployments? Yeah, so that's false. 18 Bravos don't do all the shootings, all right? There is fairly a decent amount of shooting that takes place within the entire team. The 18 Bravo is just responsible for the weapon systems. Everybody gets their gun on the actual team. 18 Bravo is responsible for him. He's also responsible for setting up the ranges and ensuring everybody is sufficient on those weapon systems, all right? But they don't get to do all the shooting, all right? Let's debunk that myth right now. Next question, guys. What's the best training advice for someone who has 2 years before they go to selection? All right. Keep working on your runs. Keep rucking. Keep lifting. Get to the shape that you want to be at. And throughout those 2 years, get some leadership experience And if you're in the military, get your Ranger School on and also get your Sapper Tab. All right. Next question, guys. I'm 30. Do you think it would be dumb for me to try and earn a Green Beret now? No, it's not. I just had a 42-year-old go through selection and get selected. Don't limit yourself by putting restrictions on yourself. All right. Next question. Joining the military at 30, is SF too late? No, it's not. All right. 30 is actually a pretty good age to go to SF. You have that maturity and you're still in shape, right? Do not limit yourself, guys, by imposing these limitations on yourselves. All right. Next question. I will come from Turkey to the U.S. and planning to have a career in the U.S. Army. Not sure where the question is, but yes, definitely go for it. Next question, guys. How intelligent do you have to be to pass the Q course? You got to be pretty fucking smart, right? Selection is physical. SUT is going to be physical also, but for the most part, the rest of the Q course is all mental, right? MOS is challenging. Language is challenging. Robin Sage is challenging, guys. So yeah, you need to be fairly smart to be able to make it through the Q course, all right? Next question, guys. How hard was it for you or in general to pass selection in the Q course? I had some challenges here and there. Physically, I didn't have that much of an issue, but some of the academics area was pretty challenging, whether it was SUT and also the 18 Charlie course, right? So it's fairly hard for me, guys. Right, being a soldier growing up with or without male role model, how do you deal with adversity? All right, you deal with adversity by pushing through them, knowing that, hey, this is only going to make me stronger. Quitting should never be an option. As soon as you've quit, you've essentially lost. But hanging in there, going through those tough times, that's what makes you better, right? You can't be great without adversity, right? You can't win without losing. Right? You need to understand that and get your mind straight. Next question, guys. How to become one of the greatest soldiers in Special Forces? By being a good dude, man. Show up, do what you're supposed to do, be there in the right place, the right uniform, and you'll be fine. Do all the little things right, and that's going to set you apart from your peers. All right, next question, guys. Biggest thing people fail to do that jammed them up doing land nav from your time at SFAS. I would say follow instructions, right? Being a roadkill. Roadkill means guys are getting too close to the roads or they're using the roads to navigate, right? A lot of guys fail to follow that simple instruction, and it's leading to hundreds of dudes failing land navigation and not getting selected, right? So I would say that would be the biggest thing. All right, next question, guys. At what age did you become a Green Beret? I was 26 when I became an SF guy. Next question, is 25 too old for trying to get into Special Forces? No. Like I just said, I was 26 when I became a Green Beret. Getting better at cardio and long runs. I would say the best way to get better at cardio and long runs is to go out and do cardios and long runs, all right? Next question, guys. How to be a proficient leader? Pretty simple. Listen to your subordinates and take care of them. Put their needs above your own and they'll take care of you. You'll see how things just fall into place once you take care of your subordinates. Leadership is pretty easy, in my opinion. Take care of people, treat them like you want to be treated, and everything always works out, all right? When it's time for you to make those hard decisions, you're not going to get any blowback because you've been taking care of your dudes and gals for however long. You know what I mean? All right, next question, guys. How to prepare for the Special Forces qualification course. Get your Ranger handbook. Read that from top to bottom. That'll help you out for SUT, SEER. Grab your balls and go through it. MOS, based on which MOS you have, you can get like certain skill level. For example, the 18 Charlie MOS, I know you can go on Amazon and get like the skill level 3 book for like 18 Charlies, and it has a lot of the tasks that you're going to face at selection. All the other MOSs should have the same books on there that can help you get a head start, right? Language, you can start listening to Rosetta Stone now if you already know what language you have, and that'll help you out once you actually get to language phase, all right? Sage, you just got to go through it. All right, next question, guys. How do you handle or deal with childhood mental trauma or thoughts of not being good enough? That's a good one, man. And I think it just goes back to understanding that adversity strikes everyone, right? Whether you experience it as a young kid or whether you're going through it right now, just know that it's meant to make you tougher. I would say let it motivate you, let it do what it's supposed to do, which is make you stronger and more resilient, right? Accept it and know that, hey, I can push through this. I can be better, right? Use it to your advantage. Hello, sir. If you were getting ready for SFAS today, what would you do? All right. So if I was getting ready for SFAS today, guys, I would make sure I'm in good shape. I would make sure I do a shit ton of rucking, because I always say what the water is for Navy SEAL, the rucksack is for us, right? You're going to spend a lot of time under that ruck. So make sure you do a lot of rucking and make sure you know how to do land navigation, which is what gets approximately 50% of all guys out at SFAS. All right. Next question. If I wanted to go to the National Guard 18 X-ray route, is 27 years old too late? No, it's not, guys. All right, I'm leaving for boot camp for the Navy in a couple of days. Any advice for me? Right place, right uniform, right time, right? Don't buck the system and do what you're told. You should be fine. All right, next question. Should I give up on my dreams of becoming a Green Beret if I have HIV undetected? All right, don't self-select, right? Go through that process. Let the recruiters know what's going on and see what they tell you, right? Don't ever take yourself out of the fight. Let somebody else do it for you. What made you decide on your language preference and selection? All right, I already spoke French, so that made it a lot easier for me. All right, next question, guys. Best practice to start building in your life to succeed as a Green Beret. You got to have tough skin, all right? If you are going to become a Green Beret, you got to have tough skin. So if you're a emotional, weak individual right now, start getting tougher, all right? Next question, guys. Life in general, I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. Can't join the military again. Guys, find your purpose, right? Every single one of us is put here for a reason. If you don't know what that reason is, just keep looking, right? We all have something that we're great at. We all have something that we're meant to do. Go find that purpose, right? Just because you can't join the military again doesn't mean life is over for you. Go find out what you're supposed to do and do it. Just got promoted as an O2. Any advice on how to be a great leader for my NCOs? Good question, man, and I appreciate you asking this. Listen to them, right? Ask them what they need, and then just serve them. Be a servant leader. Understand that that O2 rank isn't for you. It's for them. It's so that you can go be a mouthpiece for those dudes, right? Now you got a little bit more power to be able to get shit done. You take care of them, they'll take care of you. All right, next question, guys. All right, I don't know if you covered this already, but how can I get better at running for 2 and 5 miler? All right, pretty easy. Go out and run 2 and 5 miles, all right? The more you run them, the better you'll get at them, all right? Every time you run them a little bit faster. That's how you get better at them. What advice do you have for a support intel dude going on a rotation with GBs for 6 months? All right, just know your role. All right, don't try to be a cool guy if you're not a cool guy. Know that you're an intel guy and serve the dudes. Right, ask them what they need help with, and when they give you that feedback, listen. Don't try to be their friends right away. Right, play your role, and eventually you'll gradually kind of just fit within the team. All right, tips for cutting weight. Scared I'm getting fat. Yeah, you're probably getting fat then. Go out there and run and stay the fuck out of the gym, right? If you're fat and overweight, don't go to the gym and try to build muscle underneath that fat. Go run and slim down and then slowly start working out, right? I hope that makes sense. All right, next question, guys. How do I prepare for Ranger School? By reading the Ranger Handbook and also by PTing the shit out of yourself. Make sure you're in shape so when you show up, you can meet all those gates, right? Next question. ROTC cadet, branching aviation. I want to go SF as a captain. Can I get out of my contract? Find your recruiter and find out, man. I'm not entirely sure on how that would work for you. All right. Next question. Heading to selection today. Any advice on dealing with the jitters? Don't quit. Don't self-select. Give it 110% at all times. and let the cadres do their jobs. All right. Good luck to you. All right. Next question, guys. I want to beat procrastination. Then beat it. All right. Quit procrastinating. All right. Best workout to prepare for infantry school. I would say a shit ton of running and a shit ton of rucking. All right. And then follow that with push-ups and sit-ups, pull-ups. That right there should give you a pretty basic line. Right. How to get faster. How do I get a faster 3-mile time? By running fucking 3 miles every day, fast as shit. All right, guys. Some of these questions about physical fitness, like there's no hidden answers there, right? If you want to get faster on the 2 miles, then run 2 miles as many times as you can, and every single time run it faster, right? It's the same thing with the 3-miler, same thing with the 5-miler, right? I guarantee you, if you suck at push-ups and you do push-ups every day, you're going to get better at push-ups. It's the same concept with sit-ups, with pull-ups, and also with running, right? You just got to do it. There's no hidden answers, right? Next question, guys. Considering to go selection with 35 as a regimental site, then go, man. Like I said, 42 was the oldest dude I've ever had go to selection, right? So I would definitely go if I were you. And how would you get selected to join special operations team? Like, what do they look for? Can't tell you that, all right? I've never worked at selection. I don't know what the selection criteria are. All I know is you need to show up, perform, and not self-select. Don't quit. You'll be just fine. All right, next question, guys. Need advice for reserves to active duty and SF. You want to go from being a reservist to active duty, again, find your recruiter that's willing to work with you to help you get to that point. Once you get on active duty, again, find your SF recruiter, put in a packet, and then you'll be on your way to selection. All right, I hope that helped. All right, how do you become a heartless terminator? Pretty fucking easy. All right, guys, I appreciate you guys asking me all these questions. I still have half of them I need to go through. I will do that in next week's video. All right, I don't want to make this video too long, but I appreciate you guys. Until next time.